Welcome to Bollyfix. This question to you guys on Facebook and on Twitter, and as always, you've been fantastic. I'm sat next to one of the hottest stars in Bollywood, Mr. Arbaz Khan.
Hello, people.
Welcome to our show.
All right.
It's an absolute honour to have you here.
Thank you.
As you know, our discussion today, it's about the transformation of Bollywood, how it's moved on over the last 30, 40 years. What are your views on this?
Well, yeah, I guess India has moved on in the last 60 years, but it's the change that India really needs.
Do you think that this is the representation that you and India itself actually wants to present to the world?
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with moving forward as a country. If every other country is moving forward, then it's just right that India takes these steps too and keeps up with the trend. Indian cinema, it produces a wide range of movies which targets a variety of audiences. We just try not to be repetitive, really.
Interesting. On that note, we're actually trying not to be repetitive. We're going to go back for some classic Bollywood here. We've got a clip here from Umar Jan. Okay, so that was Umar Jan. Absolutely lovely sequence from that film. Even though it was about life in brothels and about prostitution, the leading lady, she looked so elegant. She was very coloured up. She clearly had a lot of decorum. What were your thoughts on that?
Well, society was very restricted back then, and in the film they couldn't actually really show what they really wanted to or really needed to show. But overall, the film was a really good film.
Yeah, I totally agree. It was very restrictive. Once upon a time, back in India, you couldn't really get away with much. Okay, so we're actually going to contrast that now. We're actually going to be taking something from a film that's slightly newer. Ajmeri, you're very lucky here, my friend. From Twitter to Bollyfix, yes, it's you. Although I'm not sure what your friend is going to say after this. He says that he didn't particularly enjoy Tismar Khan, and the only thing that stood out for him was Sheila Ki Jawani, and possibly not for the right reasons. What do you reckon?
Sheila Ki Jawani was, the song itself was a really good song, but the overall film, I wouldn't give it much. Well,
you know what? We're going to have a look at a clip from that film right now.
I know you want it, but you're never gonna get it. तेरे हाथ कभी ना आनी माने ना माने कोई दुनिया ये सारी मेरे इश्क की है दीवानी.
As we know, Sheila created quite a lot of controversy, but actually showing that right now, race is an important point. There's a bit of competition really between Sheila Ki Jawani and Munni, which of course was from Dabang, a movie which was produced by you.
Yep.
Sheila was recognised as being quite explicit. Do you think money also falls into this category?
Firstly, as we've just seen there in the video, in the Bung, the song fitted into the film, whereas in Tismar Khan, it was like really used for publicity, really, because like the film didn't do well.
But moving on slightly, if nothing, the portrayal of women in Bollywood has changed, and this is probably quite evident from the clips we've seen today. One of our Facebookers has actually sent us in a comment. They've decided to remain anonymous on this. Traditionally, women in Bollywood were treated and shown with respect. They would dress in full Indian attire and were not shown as sexual figures. Whereas now, actresses are not rated on their talent and performance, but on how many layers of clothing they're willing to remove on screen. Yeah. To what extent do you think this is true?
Well, even in the past, women have been known to play parts as we see today. For example, if you see Zinat Amanam, Helen, what wonderful actresses of their time who were idolised for the way they portrayed themselves. But I just think that's silly to like say for fame they're actually revealing themselves, because it's because of the professionalism they're able to separate themselves from their character and really meet the expectations of that role. In order for the film to be a huge success.
Yeah, I agree. As always, Ajmeri has been roaming the streets. Let's have a look at what the public at the cinema in Birmingham have to say about this topic.
I've been going around a cinema in Birmingham to find out your views on the transformation of Bollywood. So let's go take a look at what people had to say.
There was more meaning hidden in the old Bollywood films, and you know, you don't get that same emphasis in the current films.
It's become a lot more, like the storylines have changed a lot more from the standard cliche kind of, you know, oh, it's more modernised.
I think the culture is getting more westernised than it should be.
Yes, it has moved on, and again, it's a Western cultural influence, but I really don't see that as an issue. I think nowadays people here, they've still got the values that our parents and grandparents would have brought with them, but that's not necessarily the case in India now. Times have moved on.
Obviously, a lot of people find that a bit controversial, especially with Asian culture.
Yeah, like the older generation will look down upon it, like, oh, look what are they wearing, this, that, whereas the young people, they're not that first.
If you're watching with the family, it's not really good.
Yeah, it's not, because it's unexpected as well. So.
Yeah, it's like, if you're watching with the kids as well, it's not really good.
It's not family orientated, so you can't really watch movies with your family, so you can feel a bit uncomfortable.
I like India, very good country, very good people.
They've got a fantastic, like, you know, it's equivalent to what Bollywood is. It's a fantastic industry, so why not move on? I actually watched The Dirty Picture. Fantastic.
How did you find that?
It was brilliant.
That is quite controversial as well.
It is very controversial, but it was set in, it's a true story of a woman in the 1980s, so it just shows there was a lot.
It
used to be like that as well, but it was all undercover. Now things are coming out, so like, surely that's a good thing.
Yeah, but if you relate to it more, like if you look at the ones in the past, they're more like traditional, really like from that sort of time period, whereas now they're more like what you can relate to, so you feel like, oh, I can understand what that person is going through, stuff like that.
So there we have it, guys. A lot of mixed reviews from the people around in Birmingham today. I can't wait to hear where next week's question is going to be. Now, Chris, it's back to you to the warmth of the studio with the lovely Abbas Khan.
That's what Birmingham thought. You've heard what we thought. It's actually been an absolute honour to sit next to this man. I'm very lucky that I've had this opportunity. Thank you very much for coming on to Bollyfix today. I'm sure the viewers at home have really delighted in getting to hear your views on this particular topic. Hope you've enjoyed Bollyfix today, and catch you next time.